welcome to this new video of learning Symfony 3. So in this video we will learn or we will speak about the database in Symfony. So for the moment we say that we have a file that contain all the configuration here in the app. So if we go to app, go to config, now we see a file named parameter.yaml. So the YAML, that means that is working for the routing format with YAML. So and here we see, this is basically the parameter that when we want to create a new Symfony file, he asks us for database host, port, name, all those information, so we can see them in here. So here we have for database host this local address, or we can for example we can put here just localhost, here the port, the name, and all the other information. So now let's go and generate this database. So first let's go to our Git bash for me, or just terminal. We can use terminal here in Visual Code. So go to view, view, and after that terminal, it will open in here and you can use it. For me, I will use just Git bash. So let me just clear this and let's use PHP. First, make sure that you are in the project or in the folder project, and that MySQL it's opened or it starts. So now PHP bin/console and doctrine 2.database 2.create and hit enter. I must create a database connected with name default. So now to check if the database is created, we can, for me I will use the HighGSQL, or you can go for example here and with PHP myadmin and see it. So for me I will just use HighGSQL. So HighGSQL, open it. After that click on open, and here I must see my new database, and here it is, CarDB. For the moment it has 0 byte and it contain any table. It's still empty because we just generated or we just created. So now let's go and create our first entity. So let's go to the bash again and write php bin console doctrine 2.generate entity. So hit enter and it tells us the name, to give her the name of the entity, but the name of the bundle before, and since we are working with the blog bundle, so let's keep it that way, blog bundle 2. And give it a name. Let's give it post, for example. Let's hit enter, and now with the routing format, let's keep it annotation, and here it tells us to put the name of the first object in our entity. It's a field and not entity, sorry, the name of our first field. So let's title, for example, set enter, type string, the length, let's keep it that way, for example, or if you want to change the length, hit OK. It's null. Let's give it false, it can't be null. Unique, false also. Here if we want to give a second field, so let's give description. Set enter, text, new, yeah, it can't be null, so yeah, true, no. So let's generate another field, let's name it active, hit enter. Type, let's give it boolean, hit enter. Yeah, it can be null, no, this nullable false, that means it can't be null. Here unique, no, it's not unique. And here if we want to give, for example, another field, we say the name of it, as we say to do this before, and if that's it, we're finished, we just hit enter. So now we say that entity generated. So now let's go and see this entity. So we'll close this, let's go to source, to the block bundle, and we see that it generates a new folder named entity. If we click on it, we see the table or that we just generate, post.php. So now if I click on it, I see this. So the entity, basically it's a PHP class, and those are the name of the fields we write. The ID it's automatically title, description, active, and with the get and set method. Here this annotation gives us the name of the table that will be generated in localhost. So if we want to change the name of table, we can change this name, and also the name in our localhost will be generated. And here for the ID, it tells us that it's an integer, or an integer, and here this writing, it means that the ID it's a primary key. And here it generated value, that means it will be incremented automatically. Here for the title, it tells us that it's string, it's his string, we are with this length, and type this for the description, it can be null, and all the information, and in below the get and string function. So now let's generate this database, because for the moment we still have no table in our database. Even if I refresh, see no table in here. So yeah, to create it, let's use the command php bin/console doctrine dot schema dot update. But before generate the table, let's see the request he will pull, or the request he will execute. So to do that, --dump -sql. Let's hit enter, and now he will show us the request, or SQL request, that he will execute to create this table. And here it is, the SQL request. So create table post, and so this is basically what he will do to create this database. Now it's still not created. If we go here, refresh, because now this command just to show the SQL request, and to execute it we need to do this force. So now basically we will, when we want to create, for example, a table, we will do directly this command. This it just show us, like, to show the request. Hit enter, and after it will tell us that the table or the entity it's created. Updating database schema. And now if we go to the HiJSQL, refresh, we see this table post. If we double click on it, we see here that the ID is a primary key with auto increment in here. For the title here, the length that we put, for example, in description, it can be null, and for the active, he is a boolean or tiny int, it's boolean with 1 it's true and 0 that's mean false. So now in this video we learn how to create an entity and a table. So I think this is all for this video, and see you next.